If you're a regular viewer of the channel, you're probably a bit confused after seeing the title of today's video, as my usual content is football based. However, I'm here today in the Olympic Park not to watch the Irons, West Ham United, but to see some basketball instead. Today the London Lions are taking on the Bristol Flyers at home in the second leg of their British Basketball League playoff semi-finals. I'll be exploring the Copper Box Arena, taking a look at what basketball means to the UK and watching the game courtside. Whilst football is the UK's main sport, in recent years basketball has been growing in popularity. The British Basketball League, or BBL for short, is the top flight of British basketball. This season the London Lions finished third and the Bristol Flyers came fourth. The winner of today's game will face the winner of the Leicester Riders versus the Glasgow Rocks in the playoff finals. In the first leg of today's fixture, which took place on Friday night, the Lions did win, but only marginally, by 2 points, 83 to 85. The London Lions were founded as the Hemel Hempstead Lakers in 1977. After a few name and location changes, the team moved to London in 2012 and took over the Copper Box Arena, a 6,000 capacity stadium which hosted handball, basketball and netball in the London Olympics. The Bristol Flyers, on the other hand, were only established in 2006 after a merger between the Flinton Flyers and Bristol Academy. They joined the BBL in 2013 after receiving financial backing from Bristol City Football Club's owner. Now, at football games you always try some food, and today was no different. It was a mainly American menu, and my dad and I both got a hot dog, and then we shared some Doritos nachos as well. As you can see, my dad quite enjoyed his, and so did I. And just round the corner from the food stall, they also had a little club shop set up. There was a range of t-shirts to buy, and they were also giving away these foam fingers for free. Another thing they gave you for free was these clappers, which did make a little bit of an annoying noise, but really did raise the atmosphere. Eventually both teams were out on the court ready to begin, but before we do start, if you are new to the sport, here's a quick roundup of the rules. Teams are made up of 5 players on the court and 5 on the bench. Points are scored when the ball is thrown into the hoop, 3 when outside the 3-point line, and 2 when inside. You can also score 1 point when taking a free throw, which is usually after a foul. And talking of fouls, there are 2 types. Offensive fouls, when you're attacking and make unnecessary contact with a defender, and defensive fouls, when you make unnecessary contact with an attacker. Unnecessary contact can include tripping, kicking, hitting, and running into people. There are also violations in the game. Some of the most common violations are travelling, when taking 2 steps without bouncing the ball, double dribbling, when you dribble, pick up the ball, and then start dribbling again, and carrying, which when your hand goes underneath the ball when dribbling, it must remain on top at all times. And they're the rules.
So it's showtime, ladies and gentlemen. Dalmesh versus Talia for the tip.
Overall, I found the game really exciting and fast-paced, and there was non-stop action. One thing that did surprise me a little bit was the amount of sound effects and commentary and music that was being bled out of the speaker systems, even while the teams were playing. I didn't think it was going to be completely silent, but I didn't think that they were going to be adding so much on top of the crowd noise. But it did add to the excitement and atmosphere. Another thing that surprised me was that they literally did not let you leave your seat once, because there was always something going on the court. No matter what was going on in the game, whether it was half-time, a little time-out, a substitution, there was someone singing, there was someone dancing, there was someone doing something that you could watch and that you could be entertained by. After roughly an hour and a half of entertainment, that was the end of the game, and the London Lions had won and are now through to the final of the BBL playoffs.
will find out if this one's all up, so that's the Flyers in their second leg tomorrow.
Joining me now is Josh Drayfuss, Head of Commercial and Operations at the London Lions.
So how long have you been with the club and what is your role here?
So I've been in the club since the end of January, so very, very recently. We're a fairly new organisation in terms of the investment we've had from overseas. I'm in a commercial associate position, so anything commercial based for the Lions.
And how many on average people do you get?
We're getting about 2,000 people per game. On the European games we get a fairly larger audience. But as I said, over time, it's slowly going up.
And how are you looking to grow the sports in the UK and how are you looking to get more people in?
So, we're very, very big on community outreach. We think that basketball is really, really popular in the UK. It's actually the second most participated team sport in the United Kingdom. The demand for basketball, there's a very latent demand at the minute, and we just want to enable people to understand that, you can come down to the Copper Box Arena in London and come and watch the Lions play.
And you mentioned you play in Europe. How does that work? Is it depending on where you finish in the table, like football?
Yeah, so that's from an operational perspective, and it changes. It does change. We played in Europe last year for the first time, and we advanced quite through the competition. But that actually happened as I was starting the organisation, so it's fairly new.
And how are you running the club? How is it being run? Is it sort of how the NBA teams are being run, or is it something new?
No, so the NBA is a highly successful organisation, and there are definitely parallels. But for us, number one for us is community. We're an East London franchise. We wholeheartedly believe in finding talent in East London and building our community and our audience and our fan base in East London, and really becoming the sports franchise of London.
And of course you're through now to the playoff final, so congratulations.
Thank you very much.
What do you think, if you do go on to win the whole thing, it's going to do for the team in terms of attendances, financially? How's it going to help?
Listen, it's speculation. Let's see if we can pull it off in the final next week. We're very excited. We just had a great game to get there, and I think for us it's not about just the Lions. It's about British basketball, and it's about building a culture around basketball in the United Kingdom. And we just want to be an outlet for the youth and pre-existing fans in the UK to enjoy British basketball here in London.
And finally, of course, NFL teams sometimes come over here to play their games. Has there been sort of any talks, or would you like some NBA teams to come over? How would that help? Is there anything going on?
I'm sure, NBA teams coming over, there'd be a lot of cool collaborations and synergies that we could create with them. As far as I'm aware, there's been no conversations about that, but definitely something that would be exciting for sure.
Well, that is the end of yet another video, and I really hope you have enjoyed watching. Thank you so much to Josh, who I just interviewed, and for arranging everything in terms of ticketing and whatnot. We really did have a great time, and fingers crossed the Lions can go on to win the whole playoffs. If you did enjoy watching, please make sure to like, subscribe, share and comment, and I'll see you in the next one.